field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems.
Now we're cooking. It's a coach. You're immersed in the NFL.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Lions will take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check girls, check girls, check girls. Kill, kill, kill.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like in the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. And this one to Treadwell. Complete. Down he goes at the 23. A pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
As the Detroit Lions continue to rebuild their defense, they were so excited about the opportunity to acquire defensive end Trey Flowers from New England, who always put on big performances in the playoffs and in Super Bowls. And now the Lions looking forward to seeing that game in and game out. 7.5 sacks is his career high. They'd love to see that number get to double digits.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Here we go.
On 1st down, it's Cook. Oh, what a juke into space. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 25 carries, 105 yards.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
Just like that.
Now the rookie from Boise State, Alexander Madison. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Devon Kennard drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
But it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 from Minnesota. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
All right, now here we go.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, it's Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast, the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Still 1st down.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Cook. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. On 2nd and a couple, Cousins toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Running for it, here's Cook. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Check 13.
On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins. Complete. Smith has it.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4. Stafford, catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Here's McKissick. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
I know you feel that. Blue 60. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen behind it.
3rd and 2, Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Extra point good by Prater. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. That's fielded in the end zone.
We got this.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Escaping the pressure right. He'll try and run it. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now a give running right, it's Cook. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Keep playing hard.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They run, Cook, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going back.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. C.J. Ham as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. Their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get...
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Again, it's Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. Amendola's got it. Complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Sherrills to return it. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 39, Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 25-yard line.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's a give to Madison running right. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Throwing is Cousins. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well.
else. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Now it's Stafford, and the pressure gets to him again. Anthony Barr in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Here's Sherrills. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Sherrill's on the return. When it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back to the NFL scoreboard for a second, third quarter in Indy. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. They start the drive with Cook, and we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Let's go.
You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Again, it's Cook. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win, because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and now it's second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Now Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Anthony Barr, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Back to throw, Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And no, it's incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Cousins to throw it. It's caught by Treadwell. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Cousins now. And Diggs has it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Bailey's kick is good, and that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ben Gideon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford, right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. It's been a problem, just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Cousins. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Stafford on 1st down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. That'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. And it's caught here, Amendola. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stafford delivers this to Hawkinson. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford is going to find his running back. It's complete. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To the air again, Stafford. This complete to Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there and a line 1st down. Here's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter, in the zone, the ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he's got this down to the 35. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Cousins here to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Cousins. And he's going to go down again. Trey Flowers in there to make the sack on what will be the final